Got the $25 812 pull in the thing. Got it pulled up to the garage here, which will be a little easier than walking 300 feet into the backyard every time you need a different tool. So what I want to do is basically just take the shroud off again and try to clean the rest of this stuff out of there before we do anything. So I'm probably going to fire up a vacuum, compressor, air gun, everything, and just try to blow all this garbage out of there. I mean, look at the teeth in the ring gear are just filled with it. It's so disgusting. I can't stand these stupid mice. So, and then I think we're going to have to clean the ethanol out of the carb as the next phase of this. So let's see what we got. Gross, guys. Absolutely gross. Look. There's crap stuck in there. Oh. Gross. Talk about gross. It's all stuck in the teeth and the flywheel. Basically got to take this brush all the way around the whole flywheel and brush out the teeth. Get the idea. Little WD-40 up in there, because you can see all that nasty mouse stuff on there. Didn't free it up. I have to clean up this junk on the top here first, I think, before I'm going to get it to go down, because those buggers must have been going in the motor right through where the starter goes into the flywheel. That was the main point of entry, I think. So I think what I got to do is hold this nut on the top of the shaft and give this a spin, and that should allow it to back down. But before I do that, I'm going to scrape all this junk out of there. All right, let's see what we can do here. Got a 1/2-inch wrench. Just going to try to hold that. There we go. It was just, oh, the whole spring is full of junk too. So let's get that kind of cleaned out here. Those mice really stink, man. Let's see, let me get my air nozzle here, blow all that junk out. That should do the trick. You don't want to put too much lubrication in there, because then it attracts dirt into the Bendix. And we don't want to do that. So our starter should be ready to put back on. So let's do that. I'm going to put a little oil on these bolts here. These threads seemed like really dry when we took it apart. So let's give it some oil. And just get this starter up here for now. Should be like the easiest part of the whole job. Putting it back together. Let's see. Okay. Get that going. Well, that feels nice with a little drop of oil on those suckers. Real nice. It's pretty warm out today. It's got to be 40 something degrees. I'm not cold one bit, which is nice for a change. So let's get this thing tightened up. Okay. All right, now we just got to put the blower housing back on and should be ready to fire it up. I got everything back together, and I just put my spark tester on it, and I wanted to see if I still had spark. and the stupid thing started up. So you missed the start video. The gas tank was turned off, but it still must have had gas in the bowl, and it just fired right up. And sounded like it was knocking at first. I think I had the motor all flooded with gas because I was spraying carb cleaner in there last time I tried to get it running. I think I just had it all loaded up with junk. So anyways, that's it. Open up the gas tank valve here. Always a little hard. You gotta put the hitch on still. What's left? We gotta put the hitch on. We gotta put the snowblower on it. And put the air cleaner back on. The points cover back on. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna have lunch and we'll come back and do some more work. Really good. We gotta go all the way up to this picture right here. We got a 34-inch blower on it. Good, Ron. It's crazy. I did want to take the blower apart over the summer, but I never had time to it. There's some kind of clanking in there as if like the bearing was going bad in the back or something in the fan housing. But another thing that I never did is that years ago when I got this blower, I got it free. It had no rod on it for the angling. And I bought like this piece of aluminum at Home Depot and just kind of bent this crank handle on there, but it's not long enough. It really should go out to about here. Really needs to be like at least a foot or 18 inches longer. And I'm missing the bracket that mounts on the handlebars that rod would go through. So I usually crank it and then just kind of drop it down here like that. Hopefully it doesn't hit the carburetor and it just stays up here on the forward reverse lever. But I would like to, on my wish list of things, get a longer piece of rod and bend one up that's appropriately long and look for one of those cranks. So let me fire this thing back up here. We'll drive it back up towards the house.